Hey guys, welcome to Reality Football here. We're at week 5. This is Reality Football with Keith and Coop. I'm Coop.
And as far as I know, I'm Keith.
All right. Hey, man. It's been, well, at least a week, right?
Yeah, it's been a week, man.
It has been a week. I don't want to even get into some of the chaos that's happened, but I'll just tell you, I'm glad to be back here doing this. You don't know how happy I am to, be back with you, Mr. Producer here.
I appreciate it. And I know for a fact that you are really tired. I am very tired myself. But this is something special. I'm really glad to be here. I had the craziest weekend. I played 2 shows with 2 different bands in 2 different cities, far apart from one another, and married a couple, or remarried them, on Saturday, and preached on Sunday at church. I'm exhausted.
I bet he is. Like an 8-hour service, I'm guessing, too. I almost had you come to our service this Sunday.
My mom will kill you. You need to stop right now.
I was going to invite you to church just because 45 minutes in and out, we could have been right back into the show prep.
Do not get started. Oh, man, you're in trouble when you come to my house. You know that, right?
Oh, so you said, it's good to be here. Let's talk a little bit about where
Here he is, right.
We're in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. It's Cuyahoga for those people that, maybe live more than 10, 15 minutes out, right? The further away you
Near
live.
Akron.
Right. The further away you live from Cuyahoga Falls, the more syllables you add to that name here. But this is Cuyahoga Falls, and we just happen to be in the den, the man cave. A Browns man cave, Browns Buckeyes man.
Oh, God, I'm getting sick. Hold on a minute.
One of our longest, best friends.
Yes, this is
Mike
the man.
Skinner
This is the
has
man.
been gracious enough to have us come in and invade his home so that we can do the show here tonight. So I want to bring Mike on set here.
Before we bring him on, tell a little bit about Mike.
Oh, no.
Maybe I shouldn't do
away.
that. Okay. Cut. No, just kidding. No, Mike is one of our oldest friends. I mean, we go back to high school. We have done everything together. We've been, just like you and I, we've been through it all together. And
a lot of
we're
wives
brothers
between us.
A lot of wives between us. And we were poker buddies for years. We played cards, and those stories will never get out. I promise you that much. But he's a great guy, man. Family man, hard worker, funny as can be. He has one problem. He's a Browns guy, but we'll let him talk a little bit more about that. You ready?
All right. Come on, Mike.
Mike Skinner.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
What's going on, brother?
Good to see you guys.
I don't get up for guests, man. Sit down. When the ladies come on, I'll get up. Other than that, no. I didn't get up for my nephew last week. I'm not getting up for you. Yeah, I should have had Raymond come with me. I don't know what he was doing tonight, but anyway, what's happening?
Hey, it's like you guys said, it's been a long week.
Yeah.
Glad the week's over, weekend's over. We had a big party here for the Buckeyes.
That's right, and you do your Buckeye party every year.
Yeah, we had probably 25, 30 people in the
That's
backyard.
awesome.
Burning furniture.
We have a big TV out back. I had 7, 8 racks of ribs, 10 pounds of chicken,
now you
sausages.
Tell me.
It was a big, huge buffet.
Wow, yeah, and I would have been here, but I was playing a show that night.
Most importantly, out of all that, it's my best of friends and family.
That's what it's about.
It's kids from Cuyahoga Falls, kids from Kenmore that we graduated with from way back when. I ain't going to say when, but yeah.
Many moons.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
Most importantly, it's the fellowship with the people.
That's what it's about. Now, we all graduated the same year, too, so we're all same age, and all have... Well, I won't go into that, but we
all this gray hair.
Yeah.
There's a reason I'm wearing a hat.
So anyway, well, Mike, we are glad to have you on the show. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your family and where you work, man. What you do?
Well, I've been here in Cuyahoga Falls now for 6 years. Lived in Akron. I've lived in Cleveland. I'm an Air Force veteran of 10 years.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And we thank you and salute you, my friend.
4 years active duty, and I spent 6 years in the reserves, been all over the world. I have 5 beautiful kids.
Yeah, you do.
26 to 14. I have 3 stepdaughters.
Redhead City.
26, they're twins. And I also have a 10-year-old here still at home.
Wow, that's awesome.
The 10-year-old during the week's really the only one that's here. Everybody else comes and goes.
I hear you. Now, we were talking about your job earlier today. You want to tell people about where you work?
Yeah, I'm with Westfield Bank. We're a Medina, Summit County, Portage County, Stark County local bank. We do a lot of commercial lending, a lot of auto lending, mortgage, a lot of mortgage. That's hard to say. Mortgage origination, but we really cater to the local community.
That's awesome. That's great. Well, that's what this show's all about, catering to the local community. We would love to hear about you, your business, or have you on the show. And all you have to do is email us at realityfootball1@gmail.com. You can address it to me. You can address it to Coop. Doesn't matter. You can even address it to our esteemed director, Remington Cooper. And we would just love to hear from you. If you have a business or something that you're trying to promote, please get in touch with us. Also, local music. We would love to promote local music on the show. I cannot believe we have not heard from the musicians yet. I am a musician.
Your group.
Yeah, we've had groups of mine on the show. I'm going to have my band Pardon here in the upcoming weeks because I just did a show with them down in Millersburg Friday. But musicians, we would love to promote your music, your upcoming shows, whatever you got going on. Please get in touch with us, realityfootball1@gmail.com. Also, some of you have me on Facebook. We're friends. And you also have my personal number, 330-752-5464. So now we got all at work.
All right, so prank him. It's out there now, so hey.
We won't do that.
We're living dangerously.
I know it.
Out there. But it's not like everybody doesn't already have it. So.
Exactly.
Right, so if you forget, just go into a restroom somewhere, a rest area, look on the wall. You'll be able to get a hold of him.
Thank you very much, Coop.
He probably wrote it himself, but, it's there.
I'm desperate. Somebody call me. Please, anybody.
Friends needed.
I need a friend. Oh my goodness! All right.
All right. So let's dive into this. What do you think?
I'm ready, dude.
I just wanted to get into a little bit of an opening this weekend. Normally Keith would do this. I took it on myself this time because I really, with what had happened in Washington, felt I wanted to touch on that. So I know we could have thrown it in a little bit later in some of the other parts of the show that we do, but I'll tell you, after starting off 0-5, Washington has finally impeached their fall guy. You've heard the news obviously by now.
Interesting the way you put that.
Well, it's Washington, so what are you going to do? Gruden, if you haven't heard, is this year's patsy. Mm-hmm. He got the axe today. And it's not because he lost to Bill Belichick. You can't hold that particular game against him. It's not just this one thing. It's been building up, but it's more because Washington is a hot mess right now. It's not Gruden though. I mean, they have bigger problems.
Start with the owner.
The big man himself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Dan Snyder. He's too hands-on of an owner, and it's showing. He's killing his own franchise just by not letting go, giving a little bit of flexibility, letting other people make some of the bigger decisions.
Right.
And the front office is a mess as well. So I think that one thing that you want to really look into is the president that they have. This is one president that I can say for sure needs to go before 2020, and that's Bruce Allen. He's ruining this franchise.
Absolutely. Coop, I totally got to agree with you, and I love how you put that when you said fall guy, because the problems stem beyond the head coach. Daniel Snyder, who is considered widely as the worst owner in the league right now. Too hands-on, you said, but also he's making he's not giving the coaches what they want and what they want to work with. Mm-hmm. Now, whether you agree or disagree with what Gruden wanted, it's still what did old guy say years ago? If I'm about to do the cooking, I should be able to at least buy the groceries.
Right.
Right. So you're giving the quarterbacks that you want and not what they want. This has happened before with RG3.
But you've got 7 coaches in his, at least in recent history that have gone through there. So some of them might have gotten elements that they want, but then they're gone, and now you're stuck with what you said, all these leftover ingredients. So what they're trying to do is make a casserole out of all these leftover parts of the refrigerator.
And it's a mess.
It's a mess.
So, now, my mom always taught me when you're speaking to make sure you balance things. I gotta say, in fairness to Daniel Snyder, Gruden is not totally innocent in all this either. He's done some things over the years that, to me, is just questionable behavior of a head coach. I think back to a couple of years ago in the preseason when RG3 just coming off injury. This was a promising kid. This was the rookie of the year, if you remember. Heisman Trophy winner. I thought he got ruined, first of all, by the former coach. And then I remember in the preseason, this guy was getting hit left and right. No coach in their right mind would lead your potential starting quarterback out in a preseason game getting sacked multiple times. But he did.
Now, a lot of that is RGB just scrambling around and running before he's looking to throw, too. He brought some of that on himself.
It doesn't matter. If it's happening, you got to get him out. You got to protect him. Exactly.
Yes, that's your franchise.
Anyway.
So, on the other hand, Bill Belichick is a wizard. he turns tears into joy, right? Right? And now it goes. Everyone's happy when Belichick walks by. Never talking, just keeps walking.
Hey,
spreading his magic. Bill Belichick seriously is a wizard. You know that nobody does the chess game, the X's and O's, the way that Belichick
Nobody
does.
makes the adjustments week to week better than him. Or in game.
But he's got full reign to do his thing. And then he puts the other key elements. How many coaches has Belichick made a career for, just by letting them do their thing and not micromanaging every little bit of it?
Right, and if you recall, he left Cleveland, and one of the problems was in Cleveland, he couldn't get full reign to do what he wanted. He gets to New England, gets carte blanche, 6 Super Bowls later.
Well, not just the coaches that he's made, but how many coaches has he just outlived, outlasted, out-coached? I mean, it works well in New England because Kraft gives him that freedom.
Yeah, works good.
So, maybe Kraft's just too busy, getting all glittery down in Florida or something. He doesn't give, 2 rats about what's going on. I doubt that's the case, but
no, he's involved. He's involved.
But he gives him the leeway that he needs. So, when you look at it either way, it's 2 opposite ends of the spectrum going in completely different directions. One of these guys has an interim O-line coach. The other one's on his way to a 7th ring.
Oh, well. So. Skinner, what do you think about that, man?
Well, double back, you saying that they're just an absolute mess in Washington. That couldn't be more true. I like to think of it, look at Jerry Jones and what he went through in the 90s, early 2000s. That franchise was a mess. He was putting his footprint everywhere he walked. When he realized he had to back off, Dallas became relevant again.
Sure.
I think this is what the Washington Redskins need to go and look back. Yeah, not everybody likes Jerry Jones. Probably not everybody in his organization likes Jerry Jones. But he puts a product out on the field that has got a chance to be successful week in and week out.
Yeah, make sure we clarify that because he backed off and let Jimmy do his thing, and they were successful.
Correct.
Then he wanted to be Mr. Hands-On again.
Correct.
And what have we gotten since then?
Absolute
nothing.
Right.
But the greatest marketed team in all of sports.
Sure. He's a genius when it comes to marketing.
So you got to have your priorities. It's your pick. You want to win. What do you want to do?
Well, and one thing about that, in Texas, they get to the playoffs. They haven't gone to the Super Bowl since, 96?
Yeah.
But they're in it to the end, or at least...
I kind of remember that one.
Let's leave that one go. They're in it into the playoffs. They're in the hunt. So they're competitive. What most teams are looking for is to put a competitive team out there on the field so that they bring their fan base. Dallas has that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whether you win the big one or you don't win the big one, they're not going anywhere.
Right.
Fans are not flocking away.
Right. All right, well, first of all, don't ever touch me again. And secondly, are we ready to get to the Hot 5, man?
All right, we can do that.
All right.
All right.
Time for the Hot 5. All right, Coop. You wrote them, baby. Talk to me.
All right, so the Hot 5. These are the teams, not necessarily the teams that are the biggest marquee teams of the week.
Right.
They, for one reason or another, made the list because of something relevant to either what we want to discuss or what is being discussed out there, and it's the buzz. So Let's just start with that Rams Seahawks game.
Oh man,
That was a heck of a game.
Mike, take it away.
That was a heck of a game. That was a Thursday night game, if I remember
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And me being a Browns
Color rush.
49ers fan, Seattle is one of those teams you love to hate.
sure.
Couldn't hate them on Thursday the way they played against the Rams. I mean,
Right.
They were stifling defense. They played, push mouth offense. I mean, smash mouth offense.
And right now you got to be looking at Wilson for a possible MVP the way he's playing right now.
He was phenomenal on Thursday.
It was a great game. Wilson had a great game. 265 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. On the opposite side of the ball, what is going on with the Rams?
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. So the Rams, I mean, last week, saw what happened there. All
Gurley,
right.
seriously? 51 yards?
Are they just that bad and we didn't realize it?
You know, it's something to be. A team can have these players, this coach, and blah, 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 blah. There's something to be said about capturing the magic in the bottle that year when it's your year. If you don't capitalize, there's no guarantee with the exact same players and the exact same coach that you're going to be in the same spot you were a year ago.
But
Now, this isn't to say the Rams aren't going anywhere.
I'm talking week to week.
Well, I mean, they didn't look so hot to start with, but look, Gurley's been looking bad since the Super Bowl. That's going back to last year.
Okay.
So, I don't know. The Rams seem to be trending downwards to me. I'm not saying they're not going to fix it. I'm not saying they're not going to be in the hunt. I'm just saying they're not looking like that dominant team they did all of last year.
And they did
But
make Seattle
who
look
is?
good.
Who is this year? So,
I think they made the Seahawks look even better, and they made Wilson look amazing.
Sure, absolutely. Great game. All right, well, the next one we got was last night, the Sunday night game, which was a shocker to a lot of people. And that was the Colts beating the almighty Kansas City Chiefs of 19-13. Did the Chiefs show that they are fallible, Coop?
They did.
What's the secret,
I'll
man?
tell you, I think that regardless, we're going to have Mahomes doing some things that just blow your mind.
And he did last night, too. I mean, come on, dude.
Some of the sidearm stuff through
Running
traffic
here,
is just amazing.
Cross his body.
But I don't know. I think that you take away a couple key plays, there's always the opposite side of the ball that you got to protect your zone. And, you can have some of those amazing plays, march the ball down the field. You don't get it through the red zone. You're not converting. I think, he had one touchdown in the entire game.
One touchdown in the entire game. My homeboy.
He didn't look bad. He just didn't get it done.
He didn't look bad. They can't stop the run, first of all.
Yeah.
I mean, old boy from the Colts ran over, I think, 125 yards. That was ridiculous. And the Colts are a very, very physical team. Might be the best team on paper, top to bottom. Coming into the season, and I think I said it maybe our first or second episode, before we thought about luck during the summer, this team looked so good. They made some of the best acquisitions throughout in the offseason. So, Brissett now realizing, hey, this is my team. And you're going to make the best of it. Colts are a serious contender, Skinner.
I have to agree.
Brissett wants to stick around.
Right. As long as they stay healthy, because they're not real deep. But I think if they stay healthy, they're going to be maybe the sleeper in the AFC.
Yeah, and this was a really big game to go into Kansas City and make that statement,
Went
too.
into their house and took care of business.
Hey, I'm going to bookmark that phrase you just had. We're going to come back to that in just a little bit here, because I got another one that's going to blow your mind.
Oh, I can't wait to hear that.
But for right now, let's talk about the Bears-Raiders in London.
Okay. Now, I'm curious why you put this one down here. I didn't get to see these. I'll let him do it. And I want to know where your head is on this one.
Okay, well, mainly, we've been talking about the Bears and their defense. Okay? The Raiders shed some dead weight and all of a sudden start looking good. I wanted to see this matchup, how these guys, just head-to-head to see if either one of them are as good as what they're billed to be. And I don't think they didn't disappoint at all.
Okay, listen. Now, I know we all thought the Bears were going to win this just by virtue of defense alone. All right, no problem. And I also know that the Raiders only won this by a field goal. Even with that being said, I'm going to tell you how I feel about this game. I never, ever care who wins the London game. and I'm going to tell you why. It's up for grabs.
Okay.
It's in London.
Sure.
You don't know how the time change is going to affect certain guys and players. Just being overseas, I think it's just one of those caveats that it's up for grabs, and nothing shocks me in the London game.
See, I think the opposite. They should be more focused over there. They don't have all the distractions that they do here.
Oh, stop!
Right.
They're over in London,
Right.
doing all kind of who knows what at night.
There's more distraction than you think over
Yeah,
there.
listen to him. He knows.
So
He's been around the
The other
world.
thing with that is, I like the idea of showing these limeys what football is.
You just call them like.
Oh my goodness.
This is football. You throw it, you catch it.
John Cooper does not speak for Reality Football 1. He does not speak
We're
for
going to do a
the-
James Bond breakdown here in a couple of weeks with all of this. I just get so
What
sick
did
of
you
being
just call
corrected
them
where
again?
you have to say,
Said limeys.
where you have to put an asterisk in it and say, oh, it's American football.
Oh,
No,
my.
it's football, right? It is football. We play football. Some people will play soccer in the off season to stay in shape for football, but it's football,
Okay.
right? Throw it, catch it, spike it, football.
You finished? All right. Okay.
Back to this game was put on there against his better judgment, whatever you want to call it. Ravens Steelers game.
Bring it on.
And I didn't put this on there because I wanted to take a cheap shot at you. I put this one on there because there was something significant that happened in that Steelers game that we'll probably get into later on with this injury report. But we're on quarterback number 3 now.
Right.
That's a big deal. I mean, you've pretty much just watched this season at this point.
Okay. Well, maybe you're right, and because you brought that particular subject up, let's dive into something maybe a little deeper than something we've talked about in the past. I know Skinner is already going to have a very, very strong opinion on this. We're down to if the backup to Rudolph would have got hurt, we would have brought in Samuels, the running back. So that leaves us with this option. Now, I'm a member of a lot of Steelers groups and chat rooms on Facebook and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And
all the prisons.
one of the main things that keeps coming up every time we deal with this injury issue here is it time for the Steelers to call Kaepernick?
No.
Oh boy,
It's-
no.
We can call him. We can call him all kinds of stuff.
I'm gonna hear what Skinner thinks. Now, Skinner, I know you got some personal feelings about Kaepernick being
I
a
do.
military man, and I respect that.
That's off the field.
Okay,
Let's
off the
just
field.
talk about him on the field.
That sounds fair.
There's a reason he doesn't have a job, and it has nothing to do with him being his
Toxic.
antics off the field.
Okay,
He is a cancer into the dugout. Wrong sport. He in the quarterback room, on the sidelines, he's a cancer.
in what way?
His outside interference has got a big shadow. It's a black cloud. But he had, how many good years in San Francisco did he have? He had one. I believe it was his rookie year when they went to the Super Bowl. What did he do after that?
Okay, so that's
They won.
not like we prepared for this, so I don't have any actual facts right now. And I'm going to say he had a couple of good years. I think the years when he didn't look so great, the team was going downhill. I disagree with you wholeheartedly, and I think it's up to Kaepernick. I think that, he has to be asked the question straight up front. Are we going to continue, your agenda? Because if that's so, no team wants to bring that into your locker room.
That's
Now, if the question is, we're done with that, and when I say done with that, I'm just talking about the whole national anthem thing, whatever. Never should be done seeking justice for people of color, of any race, whatever. Yeah. But I personally think that Kaepernick is one of the more talented quarterbacks You'd be hard pressed to find any of the guys that are in free agents or backups or sitting around needing a job better than he is right now. Personally, I would welcome him. I would love to see him in there. And I think the guy just needs another chance. Now, bringing him into this team, I don't know, because we got some serious problems in Pittsburgh. But at the same time, I would not mind seeing him there.
If there wasn't the black cloud over his head and just play football, I have to agree with you. Nobody knows what he's like today. He's been out of the league now, what?
That's another
This
point,
is his
too.
third
Another
year.
point, right.
He says he's healthy. He says he's ready to play.
But
How-
playing, being
but
healthy
how-
and playing is two different things.
But how ready is he actually?
Okay,
to
you
play?
got a stupid look on your face, so go
let me
ahead.
jump in here, and I'm leaving all of the politics and the other crap out of the equation.
Mm-hmm.
Just strictly from a football standpoint. If he comes in now, for him to actually contribute, it's not going to happen right away. It might not
No,
happen towards
no,
the end of the season.
no.
So there's no real difference between a team waiting to do something in a draft
Okay.
and getting somebody that doesn't bring any of that other stuff to the table. And as far as I'm concerned, he's done. He's already kind of that ship sailed. That'd be like going to get Antonio Brown and bringing him back. At this
Well,
point.
no, I don't know. Antonio Brown's a bad player. But anyway. Okay. All right, point taken. So here we are. Situation is, what I heard today is that they have Paxton Lynch on the practice squad.
I heard that.
Okay,
yeah.
so they're going to maybe activate him. And, of course, Devlin Hodges came in off the bench. And he was great. I mean, this guy went 7-9, 68 yards. And before the season, there was talk about how dynamic this young man actually is. And he looked the part when he came in. So, who knows? Football is...
There's growing pains there too.
Football is a fickle girlfriend. You don't know what you... Not mine. Well, but you don't...
Anything I
Any
said
other-
about the Britons, I'm in no worse shape right now.
Most people's girlfriends. You know, it's a fickle thing. You don't know what's going to happen week to week. This guy Hodges can come in and really spark the team. This is the AFC North, man. We are not out of it till we're out of it. Now Cincinnati, they're out of it. So
There's an AFC North coming up here in a minute too. So we'll
get to that. But I know it's your turn, but we're at number 5, and now Skinner, he has Texans and Falcons down here. But you and I had a little conversation before the show, didn't we?
We sure did. I'm going to call an audible here.
All right, go ahead. Go
I'm
call
gonna
the
an
audible, Skinner.
Let's talk about what happened with the Green Bay Packers.
How about them Cowboys? Did you really think you were going to get away with that?
No, I figured it was coming at some point.
Oh, I
here.
can't believe you didn't put in the hot 5.
That's not a hot 5 game.
It's
Oh, my
top 5.
goodness.
The only thing
Okay.
hot was me under the collar throwing stuff across the pub.
Go ahead, Skinner. Take it away, man. What happened in that game?
It was 34-24. I think
Yep.
was the final score.
And that's not indicative of what
No,
the
it
game
wasn't
was.
that close.
Yeah, it wasn't that close.
It was 17-0 at halftime. Dallas couldn't do anything.
Nothing.
Offensively, they had absolutely nothing. The defense of Green Bay showed up for the game, and they played well.
Lights out. And Prescott threw 400 yards, but no TDs.
No TDs.
3 INTs.
Right.
Oh, and
Well,
this
you
guy's
get-
trying to get a
you
contract.
how far down the field?
We're not
and then
talking to you.
March back.
Anyway, man.
The highlight of that game, at least from my perspective and all this, was the one-liner Jerry Jones threw out there after all this was said and done, when they got done figuring out picking up the flag and whoever was
Yeah.
crying foul ball. But he says, "Oh, I hope the little darling didn't hear something he hadn't heard before."
Wow.
Whoa. That's Jerry Jones.
That's
It
Jerry.
is. It's Jerry
my
being
goodness.
Jerry, but still, I mean, you get to a point where at some point, with all the replays and the going back over was it a catch, was it a foul, and then to throw a flag for making a comment on the sidelines. I mean, come on, now all of a sudden
I'll be addressing that in my reality check.
So here's a question I have, especially for the Dallas fan at this table. Zeke had 12 carries for only 62 yards. Why is
they
they
have
not
not
feeding
got
him the ball?
Zeke moving yet.
Great
this
question.
season.
I don't know. Beginning of the year, the first couple of games when Dallas looked like world beaters, they were feeding Zeke the rock left and right. He's running people over. Why have we moved away from that formula? I don't know. But I understand by looking at our script, we got a lot more Dallas stuff coming up. So
Gotcha.
let's move on. So, all right, time for reality bites. Reality Bites is the segment where we pick a couple of people who woke up this morning and their reality isn't quite as positive as it was the day before. And of course, we got to talk about Jay Gruden, who woke up this morning realizing my key card don't work anymore.
No, it was worse. They called him in at 5 a.m.
That's wrong.
to tell him be out by 5.
You know what? Send me a text. I'll get my stuff later. Whatever.
Hey, wake up!
But
I gotta see you right
if
now.
you're Jay Gruden, I'm pretty sure all your important stuff's already been moved out of your office a long time ago.
Right.
Because you were expecting this call.
He walked out, he had his picture of his wife and his dog, and then
Yeah, he's like, mail it to me, man. Don't call me. That's 5 in the morning.
He was
He had
packed
to
a
know.
week too.
Oh, God, yeah, without question. So, what are you going to do? But anyway, that was kind of a throw in there. Actually, Coop, we're continuing on with the Cowboys like we were saying. And reality bites, same old Cowboys. Same old Cowboys. This is what a lot of people are afraid of after 2 weeks of looking great, 3 weeks. Same old Cowboys.
Yeah.
What's the problem?
I would love to say that there are key injuries that are causing this.
And they do.
I would
They had
love-
injury to front line, major injury coming into the game. Then Lyle Collins went out last night.
Right.
I would also love to say that they've gotten some really bad breaks, but we're not gonna, like we said with Brandon with Raymond the other day, we're not gonna throw the zebras under the bus for the most part. Now, some of the stuff is pretty blatant and ridiculous, but that happens to everybody all the time. That's not isolated to this Cowboys team this year. So
Yeah,
I really don't have the solution.
But it's more than that, Coop. I think it's not about them losing, it's how they lost. Now, it's bad enough last week when they went to New Orleans, and all they needed was a couple touchdowns would have won the game.
Right.
But this is...
Or a time clock operator that pushed the
that
button.
works too,
Yeah,
yeah.
that works
Well,
too.
they got beat in their own backyard, and that Aaron Rodgers is kind of his backyard. No offense, but
Hey, it is what
That's
it
a
is.
whole
Skin-
game for Rodgers.
Yeah,
And
it
has
really
been his
is.
whole career. Now, go back to what we were talking about with the hot five. When you got Zeke only running the ball 12 times, and you got Zach throwing 495 yards, that's a big imbalance. And with Dallas all these years, go back to Emmitt Smith, go back to all these
absolutely.
running backs. They have to run the ball to be successful.
Well, and you also need that train to run behind too, and you need to make sure that you got that big body in front of you popping a hole. Once Zeke can get into the secondary, all bets are off at that point.
Absolutely.
But he hasn't been able to break through to do that yet.
I hope they get it fixed. Just for you guys' sake. And I say
No,
you guys, I'm talking about you and that's somebody else at home that's watching.
No, he doesn't.
Anyway,
he doesn't.
yes, I
No, he
do,
doesn't.
MB.
All
I
right.
do. Okay.
Hey,
Also,
no. You did this to me. It's coming full circle. I'm gonna throw an audible in this one too. I didn't confab with Skinner ahead of time to sandbag you, ambush you with this one. But
sorry.
we touched on this a minute ago with the Steelers on their third string quarterback. But when we talk about people that woke up this morning in need of a reality check,
Leave him alone.
right? Rudolph, how many fingers am I holding up here?
That's wrong, man. That dude, you know what? That's wrong. That dude got hurt, man.
He got knocked out.
Yeah, he got knocked out.
So when he
flat
comes
out knocked
to,
out.
Debo!
realize
He got knocked out.
Most importantly, let's make sure he's okay.
Yeah.
That was a brutal hit that he took.
He's back at the facility, out the hospital.
Right,
Thank
right. So, praise God for that.
You. Amen.
What my beef is as a Browns fan, not really a beef.
I know where you're going with
Not a
this.
beef. But if you go back a few years to a ill-advised hit on Colt McCoy in a particular Browns-Steelers game,
I remember that game well.
Mr. Harrison was praised as almighty football player. Now that the tides have turned a bit, we've got a lot of Steelers fans crying wolf.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I can't
Hey,
let you get away with
I've
that. No.
been looking at social media today.
No, stop.
There's some
No.
butthurt Steeler fans.
I'm not letting you get away with that. First of all, let's clarify something. I know what game you're talking about. If anybody who's a Steelers fan know what game you're talking about. Yeah, it was brutal. Yeah, we laughed and smiled. But Harrison was wrong. As a Steelers fan, I even said that was wrong.
Right,
Okay.
right.
And secondly, Nobody's crying about it now. I didn't cry. I didn't even think he should have got a flag. Earl Thomas did for that hit. It's not the fans. It's the game.
It is a game.
It's the
You're
game.
Right.
The game is so soft. Clay Matthews got a roughing the passer thing 2 games ago, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. The man cannot stop his body in mid-flight.
Right.
You know, you can't even play football anymore. We got a roughing the passer call yesterday that was full of crap.
Yeah.
That might have changed the game.
Jason Garrett got a call for I don't know. He
Jason
told the ref.
Well, you're
So-
right. That might be a story for maybe another episode, for another time. They do protect the quarterback way too much in today's
It's
game.
ridiculous, man. Defensive guys cannot play football anymore.
No.
That's a good reality check. One day we can go off on that.
Let's
But
do that.
all right, well, that was our reality bites. Also, we talked about Kansas City. Wanted to mention they're not undefeated anymore.
No.
That leaves 2 teams. We got tonight's 49ers and, of course, the Patriots.
Right.
Kansas City, man, they had to wake up and realize teams are going to start figuring this out here a little bit, man. You rush the quarterback, brutalize us a little bit, and they can't stop the run. They better do some fixing up in Kansas City real quick.
As soon as they learn how to stop the run, they're right back in it. They're solvent. That's not a big fix for them. They'll be fine.
And you got to realize, too, Tyreek Hill is still out with the injury as well, so that's a big
They
deal.
will be fine.
Great little argument last night. I don't know if you guys caught Travis Kelce, tight end for Kansas City, arguing with Eric Bieniemy, one of the assistant coaches.
I heard
Oh, it
about
was
that.
great. Yeah, they had a little. He pushed him away. It was a little big deal. You know, man, about 5 minutes later, he goes over and hugs him. It's like, I'm glad he did that, you know, because people are like, ah! It's football, people. Lighten up.
Right.
All right.
I'm not hugging you, though.
You'll hug me if I say so, doggone it.
All right, you ready for Dude You Trippin'?
Oh, man, this is my favorite part of the show because we get our statements from our viewing audience.
Yes, we do.
All right, I'm ready.
We're getting them, and we've got some good ones. We get some repeat people, so we've got some fans that have stuck with us. That's nice to know.
Sure.
We're not chasing people away.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to get a lot of British fan mail here.
No.
But
so much for our overseas production. Remy, you can scrap that.
Maybe some girlfriends won't be doing some who's tripping either. Maybe do some tripping later when you get home. But
yeah,
Shut
all
up.
right. We might be able to pick up a toothpaste sponsor.
So normally you ask them and I'll tell if I agree or tripping. But this time I'm gonna, after I get done answer, we're gonna see what our guest here thinks. Also, how's that?
That sounds great.
All
So
right.
let's tell them what it is here, right?
Yep.
Dude, you tripping? We get
Or do that.
or chick, you tripping? I think
Yeah,
we did.
yeah.
But we're taking your comments, and we're either going to back them up and agree with you, or we're going to call you out on it and tell you why. So let's do it. Let's get started. This guy.
Again?
This is Pizza Guy 16.
Who is this?
He's evidently a
I want him
smart
to
aleck.
prove he's pizza guy. We
He
want some
says-
pizzas.
He just simply said, "How about them Cowboys?" I hate this dude.
I love him.
I do.
I love him. He's great, man.
I can see a
Yeah,
sense of humor right now.
Yeah, you know what, pizza guy? I'm telling you, how about them Cowboys? Can't stand,
All right.
can't stand him.
So,
Anyway,
from the
no. Pizza guy, same. I agree with you because last week I actually sat in front of this camera and made excuses for the Cowboys losing against the Saints. Can't believe I did that. And then they come home and drop one like this. Yeah, how about them Cowboys? Really, I don't even know what to say. There's no excuse. There's no reason. Banged up offensive line. I don't want to hear it. 3 picks from Dak Prescott in a contract year. No. Yeah, I totally agree. Thank you, Pizza Guy.
I got nothing. All right, Danny H. I hate that dude. Danny H says, when he gets some protection, Deshaun Watson is the best QB on the planet.
That's
I tell you what. I don't think I could actually say, dude, you're tripping, because when they block for him, he is unstoppable. And I have to kind of agree with you. He just might be. We have not seen the best of Deshaun Watson, Skinner.
No.
And 400 yards, 5 touchdowns yesterday.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm gonna let's you might be right.
hey,
I won't say,
hey,
dude, you're tripping.
I want to jump in.
I
on
won't
this
totally
guy.
agree, but you might be right. Go ahead.
Because it wasn't just the 5 TDs. The real numbers that were impressive: 0 turnovers, and then here's the biggest one: no sacks.
Wow.
So leading right into what he was saying, in the offseason, they went and they made a trade with some first rounders to Miami, picked up a tackle.
Mm-hmm.
They grabbed a
they
left,
still
left
need
tackle.
help.
Well, then they get 2 more tackles this year, and they are just, it's amazing the difference that it's made. He very well could be. He's on par to make that argument. So
Yeah.
I don't think he's tripping at all. I think there's definitely some merit to that, and I'm going to go so far as to even say that Houston is my AFC championship pick right now.
Really?
Absolutely.
Mark that down, Remy. Wow.
If
Okay.
anybody's going to unseat the Patriots,
That's interesting pick.
D-Watt is
I
going to
like
do
it.
it.
Okay. All right. Skinner, what do you think, man?
We were talking about that before the show. He's like, my pick's going to be Deshaun Watson.
You
And
guys were smoking cigars before the show. So
We were.
yeah,
We
we're
were.
go ahead
We
live,
talked
but go
about it
ahead.
too.
Okay.
But yeah, I can't disagree with him. I mean, the guy has poise in high leverage situations. I mean, look what he did yesterday.
Yeah.
A prime example.
Lots of poise. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thank you,
Danny.
Danny H.
this is Stephen R.
Stephen Royer. I know
Steven?
I know this guy.
All right. Well, I was
drummer, friend of mine. Thank you, Stephen.
We can give the last names if you feel comfortable with it.
Absolutely. It's
Trying
Stephen
to
Royer.
protect the innocent.
This guy's not innocent, trust me.
He's a drummer.
drummer. Yeah. He's
All right. So Stephen says the AFC North is the new NFC East. Wow. Ouch. Once a powerhouse and now a weak division.
Steven, you are absolutely right. The AFC North is a laughing stock right now. As a division,
Half of them.
if I could talk to us as a division, our shining hope is the Cleveland Browns right now. Obviously, they're loaded with talent. They were the big talk in the offseason. And I think they have a better shot at doing something this year than the Ravens on paper. But the Bengals still have not got a victory yet. The Steelers got 1 victory. We had 2, snatched from under us, but and it's not looking better. We got the third-string quarterback probably coming in next week. So our big hope is in Cleveland. The Ravens, I think we exposed the Ravens yesterday. I think the shine off of Jackson starting to come off a little bit, I mean, this guy was amazing the first couple of games. And so, I don't know. So, Skinner?
You got to go back 2 weeks with the, I'm a Browns fan, but look what they did to the Ravens. I mean, Ravens didn't look like they showed up to play.
Right.
Today. So, yeah, you're right. I think the shine is starting to get a little dull.
And Steven, that whole division, I think, has 5 wins between them in week 5.
There you go.
So
Yeah.
I think he's on to something.
Yeah, because as a Steelers fan, we were all talking about if we won Sunday, how we would be 1 game out of first place.
Right.
Crazy as it would have seemed, but that would have been the, so.
Still not happy about the comparison with the NFC still.
No.
Everybody's got
close to
pile
home, huh?
on,
Yeah,
right?
but,
Whatever.
well.
I can take it.
All right. Thank you,
Okay.
Steven.
All right, this is from Riley.
Riley. Like the name.
Riley says the Raiders are playoff contenders.
I'm going to say, dude, you're tripping. And I'm sorry, Riley, but the Raiders really got to be consistent to prove to me that they're a contender. Right now, you've got obviously the New England Patriots and the Kansas City Chiefs. You have the Indianapolis Colts. Coop alluded to the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 5 right there from the AFC. And maybe in a wild card, Titans always get better later in the year. And hate to even mention their name, but the Chargers, I think, are even a better team than the
Buffalo.
Raiders. Yeah, they're in the Raiders division. So, how about Buffalo?
So
So I gotta say, dude, you're tripping on that one. I'd have to see it to believe it.
all right.
All right, Skinner, any thoughts on that?
Oh, I gotta say he's tripping as well. Yeah, they have one
I-
win.
Riley might be a she, but yes, either way.
Dude, do that, you're tripping.
Yeah, okay. Cover our
Let's be
bases.
honest. But they've got so many holes to fill to be consistent from week to week to week. I think there's a beginning for them,
Mm-hmm.
but for this year to be a contender, no, I don't see it.
And I will say, though, the wins that they do have, the 2 wins, are pretty big. They beat the Colts, who just beat Kansas City, and they beat the Mighty Bears defense. So,
Hey,
Right.
when they're in Vegas, though, look out.
yeah, we'll see. We'll
All
see.
right.
All right.
Okay, this next one comes from JB.
Okay.
And this one's going to hit home, so if it stings a little bit, I don't know. Since the Browns play Cincy twice,
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh twice,
Mm-hmm.
Miami, and the Cards
Mhm.
in the second half of the season,
Yeah.
they could easily have at least 9 wins, and because of the win or split with Baltimore, they'll win the division.
This is easy for me because I just said that the shining hope of the division is Cleveland right now. So absolutely, I totally agree with you, JB.
I know.
That's how it should play out. But that whole fickle girlfriend thing that I did not mean. You never know what will happen. It's crazy. You got injuries, okay? You got teams turning it around second half of the season, but that's how it looking how it should play out. So I totally agree with you, Skinner.
Yeah, I agree. I think 9 wins they should reach easy. Really, tonight against San Francisco, there's going to be a tale of how good the Browns actually
Sure
are.
will, yeah.
They're going across the country, Monday Night Football. Yeah, they've had a couple spotlight games, but they've not had to travel to the West Coast.
Right. Okay. Good
I want
point.
to see how they do tonight against a pretty good San Francisco team
Very telling tonight.
to
Yeah.
see where they're at.
Right. And
But-
49ers, people don't know, they're second-rate defense in the league right now.
Yeah, they are.
So check in with us tomorrow and let me know if you still feel that way.
Yeah,
Right.
please send me a little text.
All right, so we actually had this wasn't an email. This was a walk-in request for this one, but this one comes from Dwayne Remy. Dwayne says, Odell's positive team player attitude won't last past tonight if Baker doesn't get him the rock.
Totally agree with you. This guy is he's not as bad as AB, but he's all about himself. And like I said, until he shows me different, his team first attitude is not going to last.
You don't
Especially
buy
in
it,
a loss.
huh? You're
Yeah,
not
don't
buying
buy
it.
it, especially if they lose.
So are you not buying it because of...
It has nothing to do with it. I'm just
There is
no. And
Oh, you
don't,
going
again,
based on
don't touch me.
Or are you going based on past experience?
I'm just going
Because of
based-
what happened in New York.
Yeah, pretty much.
To be honest, New York was a hot mess, just like Washington is now. Agree or
You are who
disagree?
you are. You know,
Agree or disagree?
you move from one place, but you take your attitude, your personality with you.
I agree with you there.
I want to take odds with that simply because what he's shown so far. Now I know that what you're saying that a zebra doesn't change its stripes or whatever but everything that he's shown since he's come in, he's been very positive, very focused. Some of the things that he's done within the community and everything else, it seems like a different Odell. So until he gives me a reason, either through his play or through some sort of off-field shenanigans, I'm buying it. So I
Okay, please do not say shenanigans on this show. Okay, I got a reputation. Don't say shenanigans, okay? There's no shenanigans in football.
Dude, you're tripping.
dude, you're tripping.
Thank you, Skinner.
There's plenty of shenanigans.
All right, all right.
Where you been?
Well, thanks a lot, there, Dwayne. We appreciate it, and we're going to move on to the next segment of the show. We're going to get through these real quick. We're going to do the rundown. All right, and we're just going to go over some of the scores and just hear a little bit what our guest has to say about it. All right. Okay, so Eagles dominating the Jets 31-6. Skinner,
No surprise.
no surprise there.
Absolutely no surprise.
The Jets suck. Next.
All right, they're testing Sam Darnold this week, see if he can come back next week, too. Okay, Panthers with the backup quarterback, 34-27 over the Jags, man. 2 backups, battle of the backups right there. Any thoughts on that, Skinner?
Both defenses need to kick it up.
Hey, I'll tell you. Speaking of the defense,
But McCaffrey, another MVP possibility.
and that's
You're
what I
absolutely
wanted
right
to
about
touch on.
that.
Did you see any of this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my goodness! So first off, Norv Turner calls the same play over and over again,
right?
right? Because they can't stop it.
Can't stop it,
They
right.
stop it. So if it ain't broke, don't fix
Don't
it.
fix
They just
it,
keep
yeah.
running it over, and they never found a solution for it. But the other thing, did you see McCaffrey juke?
Oh yeah,
Oh my
snatched his
goodness.
draws right off of him. They was on the field like, whose draws is these?
Here it is. Where is Monday, and this dude hasn't found his way back onto the field?
No,
yet.
yeah, that was
He's
awesome.
just going the wrong direction.
He's bad,
So,
man. He's getting
that-
better and better, man. All right, Vikings, 28-10. All this talk about, Kirk Cousins heard what the media was saying. You played the Giants.
The Giants also suck. Next.
Tell us how you really feel.
Well, hey, Daniel Jones might not be that good, like we were saying.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Lots of football.
All right.
Okay, Saints 31, Buccaneers 24. This was a great day, and Buccaneers have been playing really, really good football. Teddy B stepping it up, man.
Teddy B. He looks like the part.
Yeah,
Hey, he
He
did it to
does.
us.
he's the man. Saints are going to be just fine. Bills got back to their winning ways as they're taking their first loss last week. Beat the Titans 14-7. Titans is probably the most confusing team in the NFL. I don't know who or what they are, but still good that the Bills got back on winning track.
Hey,
I agree.
let me tell you about the Bills for just a second. If you look ahead, just project what they've got ahead of them. They're already in a good spot right now, but we looked this up. They have the Jets, Dolphins twice,
There's 2 wins.
the
3 wins.
Steelers,
Probably 4.
Yeah.
the Skins,
Won't say it.
right? I mean,
There's 5.
Bills are gonna
they're-
be looking
so they're
good.
playing like a
4 wins out of that.
and the Bengals. So in their remaining schedule, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams with a combined 2 wins.
Oh my goodness.
That's what they have ahead of them. So the Bills are in the best position right now.
For a
They're-
wild
they're gonna
card.
run away with
That's a shame they got a schedule so easy, and the best they'll get is a wild card because there ain't no way they're winning the division.
Refresh my memory.
We
Have
knew-
have they gotten to New England yet?
No, that's the whole point. They got to.
I
New England's gonna win it.
As good as New England is, I see Bills maybe taking one of those.
That would be
two.
great.
If they
Especially-
split it-
yeah,
if they
that would be
split it-
great.
Maybe.
All right, go Buffalo. All right, Cardinals get their first
Hater.
win. Should have been in the hot 5 instead of the Steelers because it was their first win. Kyler Murray, congratulations to you
Correct, yeah.
and your head coach, Cliff Kingsbury. That must have felt good for them. Bengals 0-5. That's a disgrace.
Somebody had to win.
Somebody had to.
And the Cards just,
I mean, Andy Dalton, you've been in this league way too long to lose to a first-year starter. Come on, man. All
the
right.
Cards just suck less.
All right, Patriots Redskins. At one point in time, the Patriots were losing this game, or it was a 2-point game or something crazy.
Redskins came out early and then fell apart.
Yeah, they're. We already talked about the Redskins. They're a mess down there. Somebody's talking about that. All right, we already talked about the Packers and the Cowboys. No use beating that one to death unless you want to.
That's it. I'm out of here.
That's how we
What's
get
the
rid of
phrase?
them.
Cowboys just suck.
You know what you've been saying? Okay, and here's one that utterly shocked
Why
me.
did we come here?
The Broncos beat the Chargers
That was a good game.
20-13.
Who saw that coming?
Chargers, another team. I just can't figure out what is their problem.
2-2, 1-3. Who saw this? Actually, it was 0-3 Broncos. Who saw that?
I don't know. The Chargers were the team to beat last year. Everybody's talking about they're the hottest team in the league. They came into Pittsburgh and stole one. And, I mean, just Broncos, really? Thanks for giving them their first win. All right, so that's it for the rundown. Last week, we want to apologize to you. We forgot to go over any key injuries that may or may not have happened. But this week, there are a few injuries, but one significant one. Baltimore DB Tony Jefferson is out for the season with a torn ACL. So, more bad news for the Baltimore Ravens besides not playing very good, even though they got the win yesterday. All right. Dude, we also didn't do our reality check last week.
We didn't.
So reality check is where Coop gets a couple minutes to rant on what's bothering him in football, and I get a couple minutes. You got something that's bothering you,
I've
Coop?
got something. I wouldn't say it's bothering me, but I've got something that I had prepared for last week. I just wanted to get off my chest.
Okay, well,
it's not so
Camera's
much of a
yours.
rant, but let me just start off by asking you what Andrew Luck, Drew Brees, Ben Roethlisberger, Eli Manning, Nick Foles, Alex Smith, and John Cooper have in common.
They're all getting to use their Netflix account now.
Yep, all watching the NFL on Sundays. So that being said, you know, you can call it the year of the injuries, call it the changing of the guard, call it life. Whatever you want to call it, we see these QBs just. I don't know if it's so much that they're aged and we're looking to have a younger crop come up, but they're dropping. They're dropping faster than. I'm not even gonna say.
What did I tell you?
We'll edit that out and put that in the bloopers later. So let's start with the 6 QBs that were set to start way back in week 3. These guys were nowhere near the top of the depth chart when training camp started. But you had Jacoby Brissett, Teddy B, we've already talked about a lot over the last 3 weeks. Of course, Mason Rudolph might be back. I mean, you know, we'll see how that goes. But again, you can just add one more to the list for, you know, next man up there too. Gardner Minshew, Kyle Allen, Luke Falk, all these guys had to step in and take the helm. You know, and that's football. It's bound to happen. You prepare for it. But some of this could be a real tell. This could be a changing of the guard. So all of these quarterbacks that we've been watching for years, you know, old guys like us, that, you know, you only have, you know, a couple Drew Brees, Tom Brady's, you know, that are still around. So we've got to kind of wipe the slate and get ready for this next crop. So we've got a lot more names to learn and some new faces. Some of them won't be around next year. Some of them will be, you know, a mainstay.
It's a great point, Cooper. But, you know, I was thinking that, is this not the best time ever for quarterbacks to come in and be successful off the bench?
Oh, absolutely.
It is.
There's no better time. I mean, you can't touch them. You know.
Right.
Yeah, there's that.
You can't touch the receivers. So that's why we're seeing a lot of these backups have a lot of success. Thanks, Coop. Appreciate
One more,
it.
though. Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill's going to have Mariota's job.
Ryan Tannehill is horrible.
He will have Mariota's job
He's
in
horrible.
Tennessee.
And he'll get fired too.
Well, maybe, but that's another one. Mariota might be
All right,
on the
well,
chopping
we'll book
block.
it. Okay. All right, well, my reality check simply is about the referees. Now, referee complaining is nothing new, but what I'm talking about is not about the flag. It's about them personally getting emotionally involved into the flow of the game. And what I'm talking about in particular last night was your boys. Jason Garrett got a flag last night. You know, we're not sure what was said, but what made me upset was the reaction. And I didn't even get mad about the flag. What made me upset was the reaction that the referee had. Here, this little sawed-off guy gets up in his face, blows his chest out, and then when he walks off, he's looking back at him. I have seen guys get thrown out of games for looking back at referees like that.
Sure.
I have seen taunting calls, you know, for looking back at people like that. And here, our referee should do it. I don't want to hear he's a human being, too. He has emotions, too. He's a referee. He gets paid a lot of money, and he should be beyond reproach. I love the new rule in the NFL right now where you can throw a flag for a non-call. I love that rule because it's basically saying these referees are not perfect and we're going to hold them accountable. If we can't hold them accountable, we'll fix what they messed up. There needs to be something done, maybe something in the new CBA coming up where if a referee gets caught being personally angry with a coach or a player, which that should never happen, something needs to be done about that. That was ridiculous last night, and the optics of it on television was horrible.
Well, if you start throwing some fines their way, then you'll start to see
Something.
some change.
Something.
I did happen to notice, though, the Cowboys game, Sarah we had the
Oh,
female
yeah.
referee in that game there too. So notice nobody was arguing with her. They knew better.
You can't win that
They
one.
knew
That's why. All right. Well, Skinner, man, dude, finally got you on the show.
Been a great time.
Yeah. Anything you want to say or add before we?
No, just as a fan of the show, I hope future success. Sky's the limit for you folks. I would love to do this again down the road.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Well, we talked about a Kenmore night.
Right.
Get
right.
some of us. We're all from Kenmore High School, and I still want to do that. We got a lot of weeks, so we got to fill up a lot of shows.
Still looking to do a broadcast that we're recording, but we want to do it with a live audience at a local establishment that we scouted out. So
that'd be fun.
We have a ladies' night coming up. We'll have hear from the ladies. They're fans of football too. We have a Steelers night, hopefully, a Cowboys night coming up, and
our British night coming up.
no, I just got word that got canceled.
Night of the
hold
round table.
on, I'm getting your word right now. Yeah, they canceled it. So, but yeah, hey, you're welcome anytime, bud. We go back too far, man. I mean,
we do, and I just want to throw this out there. You need a place to do the show. This cave is
absolutely.
cave.
We'll
We might
take
have to
it.
repaint it, but
After being bitten by mosquitoes for 2 weeks in a row, this is great.
I don't necessarily need to be a guest, but you guys welcome here.
Oh,
anytime
you're always
do
welcome to the
shows.
show, brother. We appreciate it, man. You kissed some girls for me. Tell them Uncle Keith said hello.
Will do.
I love them like crazy. Got to watch them grow up. It's been utterly amazing. Got to watch this guy's kid grow up, and he's behind the camera right now. And I would love to have him say hello, but he'd have to walk through so much crap. Remy, can you sneak in and say hello? Or
there's a hand wave in front of the camera there.
stick your head in. Okay, all
There it
right.
is.
That's Remington Cooper, John's son, and he's doing an amazing job. Every week he's coming to me, Keith, I got a better idea. And our whole thing is to make the show better each week. And hopefully this episode is an improvement upon last week. But he's doing a fantastic job. So let's give Remy a hand. Thank you.
Make sure Remington does some edits and cuts half of that stuff out.
It probably will, yeah. Surprised we didn't have to bleep Skinner here 50 times. You did really good.
My
I'm
tongue
impressed.
hurts a little
That was
bit.
good.
from
That was the
things,
prayer you
but-
said before we started this. Hey, let's pay some bills. What do you think?
I'm all with it, man. All right, real quick. We always want to say thank the House of Restoration, local Akron church. I personally happen to belong to, and this church is a house church that is using social media as a platform to reach out to people. Pastor Bertha Butler would love to hear from you, as well as myself. You see the number and the address up on the screen. But whatever your needs are, if it's to come to a prayer meeting, if you want to help study the Bible more, there's a Bible study every Wednesday at 5:30. Prayers on Monday. The House of Restoration, a strong local community church. Come dressed as you are. We're not worried about putting up any airs. Just reaching. Shut up, Cooper. Just helping you restore yourself back to God. Coop, what do you got?
Like always, we have the Smack Shop at Bad Latitude Custom Creations for all of your fan apparel.
Awesome. And we also have One Drum, One Sound. These are young people. This features the Brown brothers, ages 13, 11, and 7, who teach drum lessons to kids in their age bracket. Their show will be debuting on Facebook and YouTube next week. So look for One Drum, One Sound. And the last sponsor, which I can't believe we have never mentioned on the show, is Sit Still Photography. Personal photography, no limit on clothing changes, no limit on location of where we can shoot. Yours truly would love to be your personal photographer. You can reach me at the number and the address on the screen. And Skinner, you got anything you want to plug again?
Nope. Banking needs Westfield Bank.
That
Should you happen
sexy hat you got on there.
I don't know about that.
There, yeah. Yours truly over here's Venture. If you need to get a hold of me or get a hold of him for any reason,
You just want to go play some golf.
play some golf. I'm always there.
Speaking of playing, guys, when are we going to have another card game going?
That
As
sounds
soon as he cuts his
fantastic.
camera off.
No, we're going to bed. That's what we're going to do.
You got me all fired
we
up.
wish
Now let's deal him out.
Wish our buddy Fisher was here. Hopefully he'll be here in the upcoming episode, maybe the Kenmore episode. But it's good to be together again. It's been a minute.
Been a great time.
All right.
Guys.
All right. This is Reality Football with Keith and Coop. I'm Keith.
I'm Coop.
See you next week.